Today I'm going to be reviewing the SandShark anchor that was recently sent to me by the brand. And we're actually going to use this when we fish here in our pond. And so I wanted to test it out and see how it would do with the bottom. So this is going to come with like a 25-foot rope type thing for the anchor. So it's going to be a rope, but it's also going to have that like stretchiness to it. And then it's going to have on the end or in the middle, it's going to have like a bungee type thing. So that's actually going to be really nice that it has that section in there. So that way you can easily throw it and hook it up and pull out all the other stuff that's inside of here, show you all of those parts to this SandShark. So this is going to work for not just sandy beaches, but this is going to work for like if you got a pond or something where you're going kayaking. We actually are going to use this when we're fishing out in our pond. So we got a pond right over here, as you can kind of see. And so we'll typically go fishing like with a kayak, with a canoe, when you're out there in the middle, but it's kind of hard to keep it in place, especially when you're trying to like reel or cast or that sort of a thing. So an anchor like this should work really well. So let me go ahead and get it all unwrapped and then we'll get it assembled. So with the SandShark anchor, there was absolutely no instructions included. I'm not sure if that was just an oversight by the company on my specific one or if that's how they do all of them. But essentially, you're going to get all of these little pieces. So you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate pieces. So this bar is actually going to go through this section right here all of the way across. You're going to want to take out this little screw right here on the bottom, just this guy right here. You're going to want to take that out, and then you're going to want to screw it back when it's in the middle. And that's essentially going to hold these two in place. So you're just going to kind of move this over, pardon that. And you can see that's then going to go right there in the center. And then I'm going to take and screw this little guy back in place. And that's going to hold these, your parts of your anchor all together. So essentially you feed this little metal bar through the holes that are on each of those. So you can see the holes there on the blue part. There's going to be holes on this little metal part here, and there's going to be holes on your black part as well. And so you're just going to feed all of those together using this. So no instructions, not super difficult to figure out once you look at a picture of the item. But if you don't have a picture, essentially it's just one of these goes on each side. The hole they slide like down into these brackets. You can kind of see right on there. That's how they're going to slide down into there. And then this bar is then going to slide in. So it has a little like slot right here on the top. That's going to slide in on the bottom of these, go through your black part right here. And then you're just going to take off this little screw, put it back in, and then your anchor is assembled. Now again, there's no instructions, so I'm not really sure if you're supposed to connect that hook to the end or this or the other end, which is just like a tie in. So I assume this will be the tie-in that you tie to like a cleat on your boat and or a spot on your boat for the anchor. And then that metal part goes in. So that's how I'm going to do it. But that's just an assumption. I'm not 100% sure which one there is because, again, there's no instructions. But we're going to go ahead and try it out here on the lake. We got a really muddy bottom here right now. Kind of a lot of silt, as you can kind of see. So let's go ahead and throw it out. And you can see it easily is going to sink down. No issues there, obviously. This is really a really lightweight anchor as well. I'm just going to kind of pull, and you can see that it just kind of really floated pretty good. But then once you get it in, you can see how it kind of stuck there, which actually stuck really perfectly in the shore. That's a perfect way for me to show you. So you can kind of see how it dug in. And now that I've pulled on it a bit, it's going to be really solid. So I'm yanking on this really hard, and every yank is just making it a little bit deeper. So to pull it out, you're really going to have to get on the other side of it and pull it out. So going to work really nicely, even with like a really silty bottom. You want to give it time to kind of sink down. That first pull there, it just kind of drug across the bottom. So you will want to make sure it's sunk down really good. And then once that is done, then give it a good hard yank, and it should just anchor right into that bed. Even if it's really silty like this one is here, it's really making a nice solid connection into the bottom of the water. So this rope, or I wouldn't even call it a rope necessarily, but the anchor line, I guess, is going to be 25 foot long. So that's plenty depth for any small pond, or, even if you're towards the edge of a lake or something, that's going to be plenty of depth. You can easily use this for canoes, for kayaks, like if you're fishing or something like I am. Use this for like a little john boat, for jet skis, all of those sorts of things. And it's super lightweight, so really easy to cast out there as well.